On internet, Brandon back at it again with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about cannabis SEO, the ultimate strategy for dispensaries. If you're not using this, watch this video or listen to this on your podcast because this is going to be a killer video. Now, first things first, what am I going to talk about? One, I'm going to do a quick intro into SEO and its importance for cannabis dispensaries if you didn't already know. Two, I'm going to be going through conducting effective keyword research, then going through on-page optimization, then talking about local SEO strategies. Then we're going to talk about building high quality backlinks. Then we also need to monitor SEO performance as well. And then I'll talk about some of the emerging SEO trends that you need to you need to keep an eye on, but probably don't need to focus on it at this exact moment. And then going to conclude with why aren't you doing it, right? So first things first. Intro to SEO and its importance for cannabis dispensary. So I'm not going to make this a very long intro. If you're watching a video like this, you probably know the importance of this. But in general, what you need to look at is when you get in customers, it's all about your funnel. How do you funnel customers that want cannabis products directly to you, right? And in this space where you don't have paid advertising strategies, minimal traditional advertising strategies in terms of what you can do based on compliance in your area, this is by far the best way that you can get customers to come to your store. And step one is customers want some sort of cannabis product. Yes. Step two is they're going to Google cannabis dispensary related keyword. And then three, they're going to go to your website, get direction, call directly, or make a purchase online. It's very, very simple. But this is one of those things that it's so simple that you essentially overlook it, right? Similarly to how if you want to go get something to eat, you type in food near me or restaurant near me, right? You're going to go ahead and figure out what you want to eat. And the likelihood chance that you're going to eat at the place that has a good reviews is pretty high. So you really want to focus on this, not just in 2023, but forever, because this is one of the best strategies that you can use. Now, conducting effective keyword research strategies. So I currently have categorize them into three main buckets. We have the lowest hanging fruit, we have the category pages, and then we have the product pages, right? So the low hanging fruit are the ones that are relatively intuitive, right? You have cannabis dispensaries near me, marijuana dispensaries near me in insert city/region, weed shop, medical marijuana, recreational cannabis stores, cannabis delivery, so on and so forth, right? So it's essentially insert dispensary, insert city. So if you have multiple locations in multiple cities, you want to start ranking for insert city, insert dispensary, right? Or insert dispensary, insert city, right? The next one is then the category pages, right? Because some people search by category, right? So you have your different strains, edibles, concentrates, CBD, pre-rolls, topicals, tinctures, so on and so forth, right? So when you look at how people are searching online, it will start with the lowest hanging fruit. This is where the majority of people are going to come. And then you have your category pages, which go through the different categories of things that you offer. Think of somebody looking for a t-shirt or looking for jeans and stuff like that. They're going to go ahead and type in specific categories. The last one is now the product pages. So we're going to touch on indexable menus in a second, right? If you're using iframe embeds, I did a full video on this, but I'll touch on this in this video as well. But for example, you might have, different products, jelly donuts, banana cake, mango mentality, Cali gas, whatever it is, right? And the way your website is probably currently set up, unless you're fully up to date on the SEO stuff, is that your website is built on, let's say it's built on Dutchy, right? And if you have the basic level of Dutchy, it's just an iframe embed. And what that means is that your products aren't actually being seen or indexed by Google. And if you have 1,000 different products, there's a lot of opportunity lost there's a lot of opportunity lost, right? So what you want to do is you want to, best as possible, this is what I recommend, is that if you still have an iframe embed on these category pages in the website content, you can always include your top 5 products that you sell within each of those categories. So you can at least get a little bit of, a little bit of traffic from people searching from the specific categories, right? But the main thing, if you don't have any SEO strategy at all, just focus on these keywords. And then if you have delivery areas, focus on the delivery areas that you are doing. So when you are trying to build out the pages on your website, you want to build out multiple delivery pages as well. So we delivery in insert city 1, insert city 2. There are way too many people building out their pages where it's just like, okay, I'm going to put up a page online and it's going to have all of the areas I deliver to or all of the locations that I have. That's actually the wrong way to do it because you can't specifically optimize for SEO in each of those pages. And I'm going to show you exactly why you can't optimize for all of the pages in this next slide. Now, on-page optimization, right? So this can be a super complicated topic, but for the use of this very quick video, there are a few main sections, the 80-20, that I want you to focus on when looking at your on-page SEO, okay? So you have your title, right? Or your page title, your title tag up here, right? This is the one that's normally in the tab when you're searching on Google. Then you have your H1 tag, which is the thing that typically sits on the first header of your website. And then you have H2 tags, H3 tags, which are subheadings of the H1 tag. So when you think of these tags, think of it as chapters in a book, if you will, right? And ideally, you want to have adequate chapters for each of the sections, right? You can't mix up chapter 2 with chapter 17 and chapter 16 with chapter 5, right? You want to make sure that you keep the header tags aligned with numerical order. So you'll have your H1 tags, then you'll have your H2 tags, and you'll have your H3 tags, right? You can go back to your H2 tags, but the H3 tag should be related to the H2 tag, right? So reversing all of that stuff back, again, I don't want to get too complicated with things. Your title tag should typically be your store with your location and your keyword that you want to rank for. So for example, this dispensary out in Denver, they have Oasis Superstore, Denver Dispensary, recreational marijuana, right? And this touches on the thing that I was talking about before, is that down here are your lowest hanging fruit, right? And if you want to rank for your different cities, your different locations, if you do delivery or if you just have different stores, you can only insert one title per page on your website. And best practices is also to have one H1 tag for each page on your website. So you can see here that if this customer or if this person or the store wants to rank for different areas, they need to then create different pages because their title tag is going to be completely different. So it'll be Denver Dispensary, located in this area. And then it'll be Boulder Dispensary, right? And then it will be wherever else is in, wherever else they want to rank for. But you can't start stuffing all of the locations in this one page title. You need to create separate pages so you can have the appropriate keywords within the different tags on your website. Now, local SEO strategies. So the thing that we spoke about here are the strategies that you can use to implement on your actual website itself, right? But then down here, local SEO, or what they call your Google Maps profile, essentially, is how do you optimize your Google Maps listing? So if you go and you type in dispensary near me, for example, right? You'll typically see that the top 3 listings in Google, in the Google Maps section right here, are going to be different from the top 3 listings from the section that sits below Google Maps, right? Like the actual URL links, like how old Google used to have it, right? And the reason for this is because the ranking factors are different for ranking you in the Google Maps section and then also ranking you in the organic section, right? So there are different things that you can do, but some of the main things that you need to do on your website is to essentially show Google that your location is what you say it is. And here's what I mean by it. So when people go online and they type in dispensary near me, they're going to go ahead and take the information here as 100% accurate, right? So this location is located here. This is their phone number. This is when they close. And these are the things that you offer, right? Now, the thing is that this is on Google's platform, right? And the reason why Google has been so popular is that it gets people to use its platform versus like a Yahoo or a Bing, right? So if this information here is actually incorrect, people will start losing trust with Google. So what is Google's main incentive? It needs to make sure that this information here is as up to date and as accurate as possible. Now, how do you build that connection? Well, your website is also connected to this Google Maps profile as well. So what you want to do is ensure that you have your name, your address, your phone number, and your hours on your actual website itself. Typically, it would be in the footer, right? So what this does is that, okay, if your website says that these are your hours, this is the name, this is where you're located, and this is your phone number, there's a much higher likelihood chance that the information on this section will also be correct. Therefore, Google will rank you higher, right? That's just one of the optimization factors. Another optimization factor, what you can do is something called submitting for citations or directory listings. So you have like Yelp, you have Yellow Pages, you have Bing, you have Foursquare, you have all these different pages, right? And you have all these different online assets. So if all of these online assets say the same name, address, phone number, hours, right? The percentage likelihood chance that this information will now be correct will also be higher, and therefore Google will rank you higher as a result of that, right? Another thing that obviously you want to do is you want to start acquiring online reviews, right? So you'll see here that Barbary Coast has almost 2,000 Google reviews, which is great for them, right? Not only does this help with conversion, but it also helps a little bit with ranking as well. Now on Google, you actually can't incentivize, or you're not allowed to anyway. It's not that you can't. You're not allowed to incentivize for Google reviews itself, right? What you need to do is you need to incentivize the thing that will then produce the most amount of Google reviews. And what is that thing? It is your bud tenders. There is a direct correlation between the number of people that ask for a Google review and the number of Google reviews a platform gets, right? So if I ask 100 people to write me a Google review, you better believe I'm going to get more Google reviews than if you only ask 10 people. Right? So what do we need to do? We need to incentivize the ask. So something as simple as incentivizing your bud tenders to say, hey, if you get X amount of Google reviews within the week by asking, we will give you something. And that is completely fine by Google. You just need to incentivize the ask, right? So this is a very important platform as well. You want to continually update the pictures, continually update the post, because this is like Google's own mini social media platform as well. So you want to make sure that you continue optimizing this section, because this section is arguably one of the most important sections of SEO strategy, because this is where you're going to get the most amount of people interacting with your business, right? Whether it's them checking out your hours, whether it's them calling you, whether it's them checking how far away you are. The closer you get to your customer interacting with your business in any capacity, visiting your website, calling you, sending you an email, connecting with the live chat on the website, it increases the percentage chance that people will come in and end up purchasing from your business, even if it isn't at that immediate time. The next one, building high quality backlinks and other off-page SEO tactics. Now, this is kind of like the hidden secret, I guess, of SEO, right? And this in itself can take hours. I can talk about this for a very, very long time. Step one, I would recommend you go to this website, backlinkgo.com/hub/SEO/backlinks, right? Just go to backlinkgo.com, because this guy right here, the guy that runs this website, does a fantastic job of showing you how to get backlinks. But what I'm going to do here is telling you the importance of a backlink, right? Because I don't think a lot of people understand what this actually means to get a backlink, right? So all a backlink is that one website links to another website. So if there's website one and I have the URL or have a hyperlink embed code from website one and it links to website two, like the URL is website two, that is just a backlink to website two. So you're getting a link from this other website here, and then your website gets a backlink from another website. So it contains a link. So the other website contains a link to your website, and then your website now has a backlink, right? So not all backlinks are built equally, right? There are different types of backlinks you can get. You can get PR, newswire, press release backlinks, right? You can get directory backlinks, right? You can get guest post backlinks. There's so many different types of backlinks that you can get. But one thing that you need to ensure is that you need to take a look at what types of backlinks you're getting, right? So it's not enough for me to buy 100 domains and then link those 100 domains directly to the website that I want more backlinks to, right? You also need to take into consideration the domain authority, right? How authoritative is the website that I'm getting the backlink from? So if I get a link from apple.com, right, that is going to be a really, really good backlink, because Apple is essentially giving their reputation or putting their reputation on the line, saying my website is something recommended from Apple, right? So the higher domain authority website you get, the more backlinks that you're going to get. Now, why is this important, right? So think of backlinks as votes of confidence from other websites in the internet space, right? And the more, not votes of confidence, just votes of authority, if you will, right? So if you have more people saying, hey, Brandon, you're amazing. Hey, Brandon, you're amazing, right? And 100 people say I'm amazing. Okay, then I have some authority in the space, right? Because it's not just me saying that I'm amazing, it is the 100 other people. So your website is essentially the same. If you get as many backlinks as possible saying, hey, you're amazing, or sending the link to your website, right? You are now going to get higher domain authority, meaning Google's going to rank you higher. Because Google is all about just the authority of the website. Because from Google's eyes, you need to see that, okay, all Google is a middleman, right? All they do is connect text, right? And sometimes images. All they do is connect text and very simple short text, if you will, 3 to 5 words. And their job is to connect those 3 to 5 words to the listings that they think is going to be the most impactful and valuable to you. That is Google's business model, because if Google keeps giving good results, you're going to keep going back to it, right? So it is in Google's best interest to ensure that it's showing websites that is of the highest authority possible, meaning that it typically has the most amount of backlinks. There is a direct correlation between backlinks, number of backlinks, and how high a website ranks on the first page of Google. So this is why building backlinks is very important, and building high quality backlinks is also even more important, right? There's other things that we could touch on, such as like anchor links and like the text around the specific words that you're getting the backlink from, right? But for the most part, backlinks are good, very, very important. And to go through how to get additional backlinks, definitely visit this website, because it's super, super comprehensive on literally, like the website's called backlinko.com, to go through this website to see exactly how to get more backlinks, because this is super, super important. Now, you also need to monitor SEO performance as well, right? You can't just be like, okay, I'm just going to do a bunch of random things. You need to test and iterate. You need to ensure to be like, okay, if I do this thing, will that increase the thing that I'm looking for? And in this case of Google, we are doing SEO, and we're seeing if our SEO thing that we're doing is increasing traffic and increasing keywords to our website, right? So there's a lot of paid features, but there's also 2 very, very powerful free features for you to use as well. It's Google Analytics and Google Search Console. The way you use these is that you literally type in Google Search Console. These are 2 separate entities, by the way. You type in Google Search Console and you type in Google Analytics, right? They will then send you a set of instructions on the specific website on how you can implement Google Search Console on the website, and then Google Analytics. Google Search Console is very much for like user engagement metrics. So not user engagement metrics, like how people find you essentially. So it shows like location, which pages are ranking well, and all these, different things, what queries people are typing. Google Analytics, does the same thing, but Google Search Console is more of a search platform. So it's like we were talking about indexing pages before. You can see what pages are indexed on Google, what pages need some work. And this is a very, very key tool for, kind of the SEO people out there to ensure that everything is up to date and as accurate as possible within Google's parameters of what they're looking for from an SEO perspective, right? Google Analytics is now very much an analytics platform. It tells you like, okay, mobile viewers, desktop viewers, where the location is from, what pages are getting what views, and all of these different things. And this is very important so that you can ensure that, okay, is the traffic that I'm getting good traffic, and am I getting a lot of it, right? Because you want to continually monitor your performance. Don't just be like, okay, Brandon, I'm going to do all the things you said on these slides above, but then you have no idea if they're working or not, right? And the way you do this is you implement a code. They give you a code and you implement this on your website, right? So definitely take a look at it. Google Search Console, Google Analytics. Now, here's some emerging trends with SEO. So if you haven't done anything that I spoke about previously in this, just ignore this, because while this will be helpful, the stuff that I'm telling you before is even more helpful, right? In terms of lowest hanging fruit, the things you can do immediately to make the biggest impact, right? So there are 3 main things that I'm seeing in the space right now from an SEO perspective. You have Alexa, or voice search optimization, essentially. It's like, hey, insert smart speaker, tell me where the nearest dispensary is, right? And the way you optimize for this is different platforms do different things. So Siri goes through their Apple Maps platform, which then goes through Yelp. I think Alexa pulls from, I'm not sure, but Microsoft Cortana pulls through Bing. Google pulls through Google, right? So what you want to do is if you just look up, how do you show up for search? I actually did a video on this, and you just sign up, and they're the equivalent of directory listings. Like if you sign up on Yelp, it should automatically put you forth for, like Apple Maps, and then we'll put you forward for Siri, right? But again, these are like, you're squeezing the juice or whatever that saying is. Something you need to focus on for sure, but nothing too crazy, right? The next one, ChatGPT, right? If you haven't heard of it, you're missing out, but it helps you create content at scale. So if you're looking to create blog articles, if you're looking to kind of add additional content to your website, please go ahead and use this, but don't just like copy and paste it, because this is like very junior level content, if that makes sense, right? Unless you're really good with prompts, right? Let ChatGPT be the guide and the foundation of how you want to go ahead and build out the content on of your website, but don't just copy and paste content over, right? But let this be something that makes you more efficient at your work at creating valuable content that your customers will end up reading, right? And the last thing is indexable menus. So we were talking about this before, about how like if you use Dutchie, Jane, Meadow, or any of these guys, there's more and more companies out there ensuring that the products are now being found on Google, right? All the companies I said above, I think all have SEO menus. Dispense is another one of them. Dispense also, their main kind of focus is on these indexable menus. I think they were one of the main people or main companies to kind of like push for this. And the great thing about this is that you have 1,000 SKUs, right? And they're currently not being found on Google if you're using the iframe embed. And what I mean by that is just like a code that you embed onto the website, right? And people, not many people, but people will be searching for different products online, right? And what you need to do is ensure that those products are also being found online, because okay, maybe if you have 10 products, this really wouldn't matter. But if you have 100 products, if you have 150 products, if you have 1,000 products, right? Then more and more you get the volume, you get the scale, right? You get a lot of scale where all of your products are now being indexed by Google. So more people are going to find it, right? So whatever kind of e-commerce platform you're using, ask your support to say, hey, do you have indexable menus, right? And this is going to be something that I think will be super beneficial, especially to the first movers, right? If everyone uses these indexable menus, then like it's just goes back to like which website has the highest authority kind of thing. But if some of these menus are not being indexed at all, and indexed just means being found on Google, then yeah, you have a very, very good opportunity to show up above a lot of your competitors for some of the products that you offer, right? Last but not least, the conclusion. And my conclusion is just do it, right? If you don't have this SEO foundation done properly, my question to you is like, what else are you doing? Because business is built on resource allocation. And it's how you allocate specific resources to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve, right? Whether it's financial resources, whether it's just time resources, whether it's just labor resources, whatever the resources you have a specific percentage. Well, you have 100% of resources, but of that 100%, how are you allocating it to the different things that you're trying to achieve, right? So financial resources, you have a specific budget. It's going to go to overhead. It's going to go to taxes. It's going to go to security. It's going to go to inventory, all of these different things, right? But then from a marketing perspective, it's like, okay, you have time to do it, right? I'm telling you all the things that you need to do. So I'm not saying like you have to come and work with me to do your SEO. I mean, great. But if you are very much at the beginning and you're bootstrapping, now is the time to use your time resources because you don't have the financial resources to get the things done, right? And out of all the marketing strategies that I've seen and all of the clients that I've worked with, right? A solid foundation of SEO strategy is going to be the number one thing that's going to help you generate more sales, both in the medium term and in the long term, right? A lot of these things, it will take a little bit for you to develop the authority, just like you can't just boom, become a baby and become the most popular baby in the world unless you have the authority of a celebrity figure. Perfect example, Beyonce and Jay-Z's baby, right? Blue Ivy was immediately famous as soon as she was born. But if you just take some random person from a hospital, that baby is a nobody, right? But it's because that Blue Ivy had the backlink, right? Or the authority from her children, from her parents to be able to have a high domain authority, right? Unfortunately, life isn't really like that, especially if you have a newer website. It will take a little bit longer to build these high quality backlinks, right? But these are the different things that you need to do to ensure that you can rank high on Google, so then you can absolutely crush it in the market space, because this is the best strategy that you can use. Now, to finish off, if you want to double your dispensary sales and you want to go through some of the stuff that I spoke about here, you can either download the marketing checklist and guide that I have. It's in the link in the description, or you can schedule a free one-on-one with me, and I'll go through everything in here. Just, you can pick my brain, right? Fully consultative. I'll show you kind of my perspective on how I would do things for your dispensary, and we can take it from there. If we work together, great. If we don't, that's fine as well. But both links are in the description below. Feel free to download the marketing checklist or schedule a free one-on-one with me as well. But that's it for me today. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Talk to you later. Bye.